Good morning, 21st of December 2021, beautiful day again in Melbourne, not a cloud in the sky. I've just been to my letterbox and there was something sent to me, and it's from the Australian government, and you've got to love our government. They really care for you, they care for our health. That's their number one priority, and we're so lucky in this country that we've got these great leaders, not just the Prime Minister but all the premiers who give their heart and soul to us and try to do their best and do everything they can to protect our health, especially through this horrible pandemic that we're going through, that people dropping dead everywhere. It's terrible what's happening all around the world. But I figured I might read this letter out. I'm sure just about every Australian would have received it, because it's not just been sent to me, but for those who haven't actually received it or read it, and for those in other countries who are probably not so fortunate as us here in Australia, having this wonderful government, maybe you want to hear what they actually say in this letter. So I'll just turn this around. There's the letter here, Australian government, and right down the bottom, as you can see, it's signed by the Honourable Scott Morrison, the Honourable Greg Hunt, or as I call him, see you next Tuesday, Minister for Health, and we got Professor Paul Kelly, Chief Medical Officer. So I'll read this out now. Gotta put my glasses on, sorry. So what have we got here? Dear fellow Australian, isn't that a wonderful start? Dear fellow Australian, it's now time to think about your COVID-19 Vaseline booster in bold letters. For those who are fully vaccinated. Importantly, if you are yet to have your first Vaseline or complete the second vaccination, please do so. 20 months ago, Australia was at the start of a once-in-a-century pandemic, the size and scope of which we could barely comprehend at the time. In the face of this challenge, each of us did what was needed to support each other and work together as a country so we could get through it safely together. We made the sacrifices and followed the medical advice. Australia now has one of the lowest number of cases per head of population in the world, and our health response has saved over 30,000 Australian lives. Isn't that fantastic? 30,000 Australian people would have died if we didn't follow what the government's laws and rules and directions, whatever, were placed on us. 30,000 Australian lives are saved. And if you don't know, there's I think its last count was 1,200 or something, maybe 1,300, that have died from this tragic pandemic in the last 22 months. Thanks to the high vaccination rates, we are now reopening. Our economy is strongly re-emerging, and people can get back to seeing family, travelling and living a more normal life. So isn't that fantastic? The economy is back better than ever. Everyone's got their jobs back and all looks good. An important part of this process is ensuring that every person in Australia has access to Vaseline boosters to help maintain the best possible defence against serious illness or, sorry, the wind's blowing this around, or death. With over 151 million additional doses secured, boosters are freely available to everybody who is fully vaccinated and should be taken from 6 months after your second dose. The date you had your second dose is shown on your vaccination certificate. You'll be able to get your booster from your GP, local pharmacist, or you can make a booking through australia.gov.au. With over 80% of Australia already fully vaccinated, and more doing so every day, we can be proud of being one of the most protected countries in the world against COVID. COVID being in capital letters and bold. Everyone in Australia is encouraged to take up the vaccine booster to make sure we can keep each and every one of us safe. And it's signed by the three great people that we so admire. And along with it came this. There's another thing. COVID-19 vaccination booster doses. And it has a list of my family's booster doses are due. Name, date. Let's see if we'll just quickly read through this. People living in Australia aged 18 and over are now eligible to receive a booster vaccination dose at least 6 months after they have completed their primary 2-dose course of COVID-19 vaccination. The booster dose is free and available through GP, state and territory run clinics, pharmacies, Aboriginal community controlled health services and Commonwealth vaccination centres. Your booster dose can be a different brand to the one you received for your primary course of vaccination. I'll repeat that. Your booster dose can be a different brand to the one you received for your primary course of vaccination. Obviously, this booster has been tested with all the different brands, and it's passed with flying colours, and there's no concern whatsoever. You can use it with Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Moderna, Johnson, you name it. This booster works with all of them. You can guarantee that. You can guarantee. 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccines provide very good protection, especially against severe disease. But obviously that's not enough. The booster dose will make sure the protection from the first 2 doses is even stronger and longer lasting. It sounds like a deodorant, doesn't it? It should also help prevent spread of the virus. So it should help prevent the spread of the virus. You would have thought that was the intention of it, but anyway. Severely immunocompromised people who have had a 3rd dose to complete their primary course of vaccination are not currently recommended to have a booster dose. Okay. So if you've had a 3rd dose, I'm not sure why you'd have a 3rd dose, but only 1 booster dose is recommended, and at this stage there is no recommendation for any further booster doses. So the booster dose should be it. So there's no more after that, according to this. The current evidence suggests the booster dose is not required until at least 6 months after a person has completed their primary course of vaccination. Even if you had a booster dose, it is very important you continue to practice COVID-safe measures, including good hand washing and cough and sneeze hygiene. Get tested if you have any symptoms of COVID-19. Further information about blah 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 can be seen at this website. So there it is. There it is. I just feel, I got tingles going down my spine after reading that. It's just wonderful. It's wonderful, to know that we've got a government that their only concern right now is the health of their fellow Australians. So the 3 guys, the Honourable Scott Morrison, the Honourable Greg Hunt, and Professor Paul Kelly, we are deeply indebted to you for your work and saving, what was it, 30,000 Australian lives. And it's marvellous. It's marvellous. So, yeah, let's just hope that you guys are there forever and ever, because the job you've done is just amazing. So, on that note, I'll go inside and protect myself from this deadly virus that's floating around. It could be anywhere. It could be, could be flying right above my head right now. So I better go inside and hide under my bed and, look after myself. Because, no one wants to catch this deadly virus and be a victim, one of these 1,200 that have actually died in the last 22 months. So have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and yep, make sure you book in for your Vaseline booster.